Okay, we have another, we're going to do part 3 of the solar plexus and then go into the sacral chakra. I had to do some readings that were old from people from yesterday. So I had to then end the stream and then do that because that becomes the priority, right? Okay. It's been quite a busy morning. Busy morning. I read some of your comments, and there was the light bringer from the way she made a statement on that maybe it's not believable that I'm going through this, or listen, if there's any doubt of what I'm going to the doctor, the surgery, the orthodontist, my orthodontist, and all of my, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not lying about it. Everything can be verified. Everything. I'm going to give you the name of the doctor if you have to call the doctor so you can verify. These things are real. There's no bullshit here. So, Lightbringer, it is sincere what I'm going through. And the question that you're asking me, you should ask the doctors because I am not concerned for them. Only I just want to get this thing over with and done so I can get back to my routine. Trust me, this is no fun at all. Okay, so I'll say that. Um, I canceled class today and I canceled consultations that are due until tomorrow so that I can get these videos out. Um, because the backup in the scheduling and going to these procedures have really taken a toll on the availability of time to deliver the videos and also do the consultations. I'm so grateful that there's a lot of you who are very grateful and are understanding and patient, and I love you and I thank you. And then there are those who are not very kind and very patient or understanding, and I will treat them the same way I treat those who are patient, nice, kind, and understanding. Because this is something that one cannot control but manage the best as possible. I don't drink, I don't smoke. Yeah, I've changed my entire lifestyle, and so if you can't see it for yourself, then I don't know what to tell you. But it has not been an easy process or an easy journey. But this has made me decide to do another series in addition to the ones that I'm doing. The chakra series is not for YouTube, it's for Patreon. But I give it to you for a day or two so you can look at it and then I transfer it over to Patreon. My focus for YouTube is astrology. Some of you missed the fact that I'm not talking about astrology anymore. Well, 500 videos on astrology is a lot of video and it's a lot of information. And it is natal astrology. So what I've decided to do is create a new series and I'm going to talk about esoteric astrology. So for the next 500 videos, I'm going to do another set of 500 videos only for YouTube where I will be discussing esoteric astrology and I will start from scratch, just like I did with the natal. But and understand that natal astrology or mundane astrology deals with the birth chart of everyday life events. Everyday life events is what astrology, natal or mundane astrology is. I've already covered all of them. I mean, I've been doing 3 years of this. So we've actually saturated all that there is, not all that there is, but the most essentials that you need to know concerning astrology and the natal chart. Now we are going to move into esoteric astrology, where we will begin to talk about astrology, but not from a mundane perspective, but from a spiritual perspective. Because esoteric means spiritual, and mundane means daily vicissitudes of life. We've already covered that. Spiritual astrology is something that not many people talk about, not many people know, and not many people know how to approach. So, and there are many astrologers out there that understand the full science of esoteric astrology. But again, I don't understand. They just don't talk. They don't discuss the things that I discuss. And we're all astrologers. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're afraid of being judged. of being misunderstood or being persecuted or ridiculed. I am so glad I don't care about that shit. I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about me or anything I do or say. I'm blessed not to care. I don't. You're not my creator, so why should I care about what you think about what I'm doing or not doing? But there are people that do, that it matters to them what other people think. I'm blessed that I don't have to. I cannot believe that I got a notice from Google about some stupid stuff, and I'm in the middle of the stream. Really? You see, it doesn't end. Oh my goodness! Why now? Now I threw a little time to you saw that part of me. You don't understand, guys. It's constant, 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 constant. You gotta be a strong motherfucker, strong to handle these things like that. Again, it's the Saturn return approaching. I'm in my lunation. At 56, 57, it hits. But I'm telling you, and you're seeing it. In the middle of the stream, I got my hair done. I did it myself. Trying to still put these locks in. It's just impossible. And it's up the time. Do you know how long I've been ready to do this video for the past 2 hours? And it's been nothing but interruptions, disruptions. Unbelievable. I got the book ready, got everything ready. Let me show you. See? This is the book. So there ain't no bullshit. The Solar Plexus. Right? There's a lot to cover. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot to cover. A lot to cover. So I do the work, but it's hard to be consistent when you have these types of afflictions. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But we're not gonna bring that energy here. You got me here. All right. Let me say hello to a couple of you. No, I will start and say hello to a couple of you and see who's here. Oops. Let me see. Man. I have to get up and get the magnifier. I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to do it. Okay, Okay, they changed it. Let's see. There, here we go. Let's try it again. Brianna Jackson, love you back. Faith, love you too. Black Wisdom, Daniela Bareleza, Lee Moonses, Infinite Vibe 5. And who else? Who's here? That boy. How are you? That boy. Yes, sir. The invasion is already happening. The invasion is already happening. They're coming in different phases and stages. The last stage will be the actual ships coming and arriving, just like it happened in the days of Noah, in the days of Daniel, and in the days of Ezekiel. All them cats. Upper echelon giving. That is who you are. And we have Taya Woodson. Hey, Taya, Leon. Love you for your donations. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Leon. And who else is here? Carbon Star. How are you? You're very welcome. And who are Brianna Jackson, Daniela Barrizella. Okay, so we'll begin. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for the donations that you're giving. Thank you so much for that. Let's put that right here. All right. Let's see if that works for that perfect. There's my little equal. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. So let us begin with the solar plexus. And yes, I am going to teach you how to do it through how to heal these chakras through stones, crystals. The stones, of course, will be precious and semi-precious stones. Um, and then, of course, the other ancillary stones. There are herbs too that are very good at helping heal the chakras. But if you really want to know what will heal the chakras, depending on which one is afflicted, because all of them work together, there is a central highway, but then there is a station, like Grand Central Station. Grand Central Station, if you've ever been to it in New York City, is huge. It's huge. And all the trains converge in Grand Central Station. I'm talking about the commuter trains, the Metro North, Amtrak, and then, of course, all of the commuter trains governed by the Department of Transportation. Number one, two, three, five, six, seven, D, B, A, E, C. All of them converge at Grand Central Station. And all of them go to Grand Central Station when they're about to be docked and done for the night, where they get other ones out in circulation. Grand Central Station is the solar plexus. It's analogous to the solar plexus. And so if you know anything about the train system, right? The Grand Central Station is where you have all the avenues and roads as far as the tracks that disperse all throughout New York City. They begin at Grand Central Station as the headquarters for Manhattan, and then you have Jamaica, Queen, the same way that Grand Central Station is, but for Queens. And then you have the Bronx, which is the Grand Concourse. And then you have different like guideposts for the transit, and where they converge, reconvene, and then go back out. The solar plexus is that way in the human body. The solar plexus stores emotions, good ones and bad ones. But the emotions that are stored on the solar plexus that are unresolved can turn into illness like cancer or a dysfunction, which we call in medicine a syndrome. Lupus is formed that way. Of course, the trauma to the body has to occur through successions of past lives and many lifetimes. There are some diseases that afflict the body that have an end result of not being held or dealt with in other lifetimes that follows you when you are reborn. And these are diseases that doctors don't know about. There's no cure. And there's a good reason for it. Because they're not of this age, they're not of this time period. They're from other ages and other time periods in which they decimated you, and you're bringing that imprint, that genetic memory with you as a DNA in the soul level. Because we have two types of DNA. We have the physical DNA, but then we have a spiritual DNA. And that is the whole basis behind esoteric astrology. So understand that the solar plexus has to be maintained and cleaned constantly. For example, you live in a house. What do you use to clean your house? What basic reagent can you use to clean your house that if you use it, your house will be motherfucking clean? There are two reagents that you can use. And I'm gonna check to see if any of you can name me. Which are the two reagents that if you use it to mop the floors, clean the windows, the wall, it will clean that motherfucker? Let me see who. Anyone name him? Thank you. Clorox. Clorox. Bleach. Now, many people don't use a degreaser. And many people don't use vinegar. But they're good solvents. Those are solvents. They're not reagents. Those are solvents. If any of you have taken chemistry, you understand that those are solvents. Vinegar is good, but vinegar is not going to clean like Clorox. The other reagent, the word reagent means reacting. The liquid reacts to the dirt and decimates it, oxidizes it. And listen, when you have a stain, don't you take bleach and put it on the stain and doesn't it go away? It eats it up. That's called a reagent. So Clorox, bleach, ammonia, these are reagents. When you use them to clean, it cleans. Well, the stomach, I love pine sol. I love pine sol, but it's not a reagent. I love king pine, but it's not a reagent. These are purifier solvents. They clean and they leave a nice aroma. They don't react to dirt. When you use pine sol and all the others, your floor has to be somewhat clean before you can use them. They're not going to react to tough stains and dirt. But Clorox, bleach, ammonia, those are reagents. And they will react to dirt. You're going to have a filthy motherfucking house. Filthy. It'll be spick and span if you use ammonia or if you use bleach. Not clean pine or a degreaser. They are not reagents. So the same thing, I bring that analogy up to stress a point that the stomach, the region of the solar plexus rules the stomach, the pancreas, and the ductless glands, and it influences them. The spleen, which collects all the dead red blood cells. The pancreas is a regulator of the digestive juices that are secreted by the endocrine system of the body. There's a lot going on in the process of digestion in the stomach. And on top of that, the stomach is a very sensitive area because it is almost like a vacuum of interconnected highways of emotional reactions. And they run across the tracks where what we call meridians. Well, acupuncturists, when they are plucking with the needle, they are touching the meridians that are running from the chakras, because that is where the meridians come from. They come from the chakras, but you have a central system where they all converge, and that's the solar plexus. 1 minute. Get a little tissue. Feel a little congested here. All right. Okay. So, when you are angry or depressed, it affects the solar plexus. When you're terrified and scared, and you got these things in your stomach, oh yeah, oh my God, that's the solar plexus reacting to the nerves converging and convening and the different hormones being signaled out here and out there, alerting you to do or act or react to do something. When you're excited, or when you're in love, The chakra that's activated is the heart, because love comes from the heart. But you feel it in your stomach, that gut. When girls see a guy that they like, they go, oh, butterflies in my stomach. Guys too. That is the solar plexus waking up and saying, wait a minute. The heart chakra is attracted to this guy. I don't know about him. So the solar plexus acts as a policeman, protecting your emotions from negative feelings coming from outside, all reactions that affect you emotionally. Right? So I'm giving you a review of what I talked about on the last entry. So let me go back and let me see if I can I did discuss balance. And let me read this part again. Let's see from where. The solar plexus is the home of the will. Okay? You have the power to manifest all of your desires. You do. Provided that in turn, you give back for every desire that's manifested. Okay? Reciprocity, either to people or to a cause or nature or even to yourself, will guarantee that every time you accomplish something that is born from your will, you give back. Because it's a form of energy. Everything goes back and forth. You know, it's a relationship. It's another form of relationship. Okay? If you believe in yourself, and if you believe in what you can do, then you should have no problem manifesting what you want. The only reason why there is a problem or a delay in manifesting what you want is because somehow, in some way, you are doubting your capacity to do it or obtain it. You know, you can lie to everybody. Ultimately, you cannot lie to yourself. You know if you are capable or not. There are people, what did I do with the lighter? There are people who are very, very confident, or at least they look that way. They look that way. They look real confident. But they ain't confident because they're not manifesting what they want, because they're scared. You got to get off that shit. You got to stop being scared. Being scared is also something that is governed by the solar plexus. If there's real danger, your spirit will let you know. Now, here's something that I got to tell you about the solar plexus that might scare you, might surprise you. And this is part of the special content that you're getting that you're not going to get anywhere else. Even though this is actually true, these people who are acupuncturists, Reiki practitioners, and those who heal chakra and do chakra energy, chakra work, they're not going to tell you this part that I'm about to tell you. Because a lot of them still don't believe this principle and that this is real. You can't really blame them because the guilty party in keeping us ignorant has been the church and government. Wissam, Marcus, thank you for the donations. Thank you. If there's a problem with your will, what is the will? The will is your ability to get things done. The desire within you to get things done. I tell you, I did not want to get up this morning to do no videos. I was tired, still having a little residue from the prepping that they did on Thursday. and so much responsibilities and running the school, all that, and then the politics behind that, and grading and teaching and consultations, blah, 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 blah. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting work. It looks glamorous and fun. This is the end result. But the process to get here, exhausting. All this material that I wrote, it took weeks to get this prepared. It's work. It's work. And I don't get paid for this, unless it's from your donations. But that's what shamans do. Because spirituality is not for free. It's not for sale. So we have to do that from the bottom of our hearts to help advance humanity in the collective. Yeah, the donations help take care of incidentals and stuff like that. It's necessary. But that's why I don't charge, because it's not supposed to be for sale. The birth chart, that's something different. That's a roadmap for you to live and know how to live. And that I can charge for. Because we are taught how to do this on our own. But if we need help in doing it, then that's when the services of astrology can come in and help. But the spiritual aspect of astrology is something that we give freely, because we want humanity to advance and be better than it was before. And every epoch in which we live and we reincarnate, it should be a higher level of expression of evolution of who we are. Right? Okay. So I'm going to give you some affirmations. If you have a problem with your will, if you have a problem getting things done, if you have a problem believing in yourself, believing that you can get something done, that you can accomplish what you think and feel, then there's an issue here with your solar plexus. Of all the chakras of the system, of all the chakras, the one that is most influential as far as being Staten Island too. Well, Staten Island, I don't believe has a train system or transit system. But it does have the boat, the ferry. It has a bus system. So we can use the bus system for Staten Island, since Staten Island does not have a train or a transit system of a train. The bus station. I've been to the bus station in Staten Island. That's analogous to the solar plexus. Because all the buses in Staten Island, they're not many, converge and then are departed from there and come back and dispatched. So that would be the solar plexus. For Staten Island would be the bus station. For New York City, Manhattan would be the Grand Central Station. So absolutely. So that's a good analogy. This is what I wrote here an affirmation. It says, I control each and everything that comes to me. I accept complete consequences for my actions and do not fail in my responsibilities. I am power. I am power. So be it. That's an affirmation. You can use that, or you can make your own. If you're going to make your own, in that sentence, there has to be the word power, the word will, actions, responsibilities, consequences, and so be it. You close it with, and so be it. If you do that every morning when you get up, you're going to feel a strength emerging from within, slowly going up, slowly going up, slowly going up, slowly going up, and it's going to transform you. Thank you guys for your donations. Please donate at 347-485-6258 under Zelly. Super chat or something. Thank you for the super chat, but they give you a month and a half, and it's super, and then they take 1/3. I hate super chat. Donating to super chat, smart chat. They take all the money. So so that's an affirmation. Another thing that you have to do, I gave you have to own your mistakes. You have to own them. Shit, I make mistakes all the time. And I'm in the public spotlight. I can't afford to make mistakes, but I do. I have a staff and 3 officers in 2 different states, but I still have to, I'm not going to get everything right at the first try. But you have to believe in yourself enough to know that, okay, I didn't get it Let me go back and try it again and try a different approach. If you don't get what you want, it's not because of the consequences of the object. The object is not in question. That's not why you didn't get it. You didn't get what you want because your will was not strong and confident enough to believe that you will get it. In my banner, what do I say in my banner? The people's astrologer. Mind is not power. Knowledge is not power. Belief is power. Belief is power. Jesus told Peter, you could walk on water. And Peter said, no, I can't walk on water. I'm not like you. He says, believe. And when Peter believed, he started to walk on water. Now, I will tell you this. It didn't happen on the spot like the Bible says. It didn't happen on the spot. You're not going to walk on water after you've been told that if you believe it, you can walk on water. The process of belief and the end result of what you believe is a process. It's a process. Just because you believe that you can walk on water doesn't mean that at that moment you're going to walk on water. Because you have to train the mind to dissolute the ego, to train the mind to move objects. I've seen people move objects by looking at it. Can you do that? Of course you can. But you need to be trained. And that could take months, years, lifetimes after lifetimes of training. It's not going to happen right away. So the Bible has the book of Acts, the book of First Acts and the book of Second Acts here in the Bible up there. Those books have examples of miracles of the Spirit that took decades or even hundreds of years to develop. So these apostles who started doing magical acts and magical miracles, because the book of Acts does say that all 12 disciples were doing magic and miracles and all kinds of things. Do you think they did it at the spot and that Jesus Christ, just because Jesus Christ said, you know, I got a power to do this, they're going to all of a sudden have it? No. These gifts of a spiritual nature take time and discipline to bring out. So the book of Acts is a consolidation of hundreds of years of stuff that have been happening throughout the ages that have been consolidated into stories for our education. But it's not that they happen exactly that way. But the principle behind the stories are true. If you believe in something, it's going to happen. And that's Neptune, Pisces, and the 12th house. Now, I have a very strong 12th house and Neptune and Pisces. So I can just about manifest anything I want just by mere magic. I didn't believe this when I was young. I do now. And now I lack and want for nothing. Because of the power of the mind and belief. How you think these millionaires and wealthy people keep their money to make their money? You think they got that as an any, mini, money, mo? Or do you think the hard work alone got them billions and millions? No. There's more to it. Trust Uncle Fernando. And I deal with these millionaires every day. Trust me when I tell you, there is a Scientology behind it. And this is the best kept secret. And the book, The Secret, talks about it. But even the book there doesn't give you all the equations. They don't give it all to you, but they do tell you that it's real, and blah, 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 but they don't give you the actual nuts and bolts of how to get to that point where you can just think of something, believe it, and it comes to you. That's a process to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't happen by you saying that you believe. You got to put some work behind the belief. Works, faith without works is in vain. That's in the Bible. Faith without works is nothing. What does faith mean? Belief. It's a homonym of the word belief. So the solar plexus is that area where if you believe in yourself and you believe in anything you want, then the stomach should be the healthiest part of your body. You should have abs, washboard stomach. That's an indicator of a very healthy solar plexus, provided that the genetics complies with it. Because there are people that are born, chubby, heavy, and are genetically disposed to. If that's the case, that would not be a good indicator in knowing if the solar plexus is right or wrong, or good or bad. The indicator will be how you're living your life. The way you're living your life indicates how your solar plexus is working. It's funny. They should do a study on people with not so good stomachs and not so good healthy self-worth or self-esteem, because that's part of the solar plexus. The solar plexus regulates those things. Right? Let me put a little bit of the split. Yeah, I decided to roll one. Sometimes I miss the alcohol. Sometimes. But the more I don't drink, I haven't drank in 2 months. Not one. Not even a limoncello. And I'm losing the taste for the alcohol. I had a drink with Miss Farmer. I had a Cosmopolitan. And it took me an hour to finish it. I couldn't drink it. It's like the spirit took away the need for alcohol. Even for the aperitivos and the limoncellos, which are liquors, they're not alcohol. Kind of like, I'm drinking tea, water. My whole body, everything's transforming, changing. This is Saturn approaching. This is Saturn approaching. Another affirmation that I'm going to give you, because let me tell you this, just because you can manifest anything you want, if you believe in yourself and if you believe in the will, which is governed by the solar plexus. Remember, the solar plexus sustains the chakras that are up here and holds the ones that are below it. So this is the central highway. Who's Sonobello? I know who Sonobello is. Is that a person? I don't know. Break it down for me. You can manifest anything you want. Yeah, and I don't like to add juice to the liquor because it kills the liquor. Oh, but you're right. I have to. The limoncello, which is from Italian, and the Aperol are very good, but even though the alcohol is not strong, it's like less than 12%. It's still very strong for United States standards. Now, these are distilled and bottled in Italy. Their rules for distillation of alcohol is different than the United States. Every country has different rules in the distillation of alcohol. Some alcohol from different countries are stronger than others. But that's not the quality of the alcohol. It is the policy of the government determining how to distill and to what grade to distill them for the human population, for human consumption. Every country is different. The limoncello and the Aperol that are Italian are stronger than the alcohol that's 20-30% here. But the grading and the way they distill it is much purer than what's done here. That's why I like drinking European or other world liquors than the United States. That their distillation is different than in other countries. These things are regulated. Just because the will has the power to manifest anything it wants doesn't mean that it always manifests the right choices. The will is not exempt from making wrong choices. Don't confuse making mistakes with not having a will to manifest what you want. We have the will to manifest what we want. That doesn't mean that we have the knowledge to discriminate what we want. And we can make mistakes in getting what we want. We thought we wanted it, but when we get it, it's not what we wanted. So you cannot blame the ego for that, or the will. No, the will well, the only thing that it guarantees is that you're going to get what you will for. But it's not going to guarantee the quality of what you will for. That has to come from you using other faculties of the mind to discriminate if what you're asking and you're willing into existence correct or right for you or not. And if it's not, maybe it's not for this moment in time, and maybe it will be for the next moment in time. These things are relative. See, so you have to approach reality of existence with the parallel of what's going on down here, and if it synchronizes with how you're feeling inside. These dynamic phases and shifts are completely controlled by the solar plexus. Here is another affirmation that I will give you. If you're having an issue with making the right choices. I have everything I need and more. I have everything I need and more. More. If you make those affirmations every day, it only takes 2 seconds. Get up, dress up, well, you get up, go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, and then thank God for allowing him to wake you up in the morning. Give thanks for even waking up in the morning. Be grateful. And then before you walk out that house, before you walk out of your house to do anything, you say, I have everything I need and more. Alhamdulillah. After dinner, drinks help your food digest. It depends. It depends. If you drink alcohol, vodka, Kettle One, Grey Goose, after eat dinner, it's not going to digest it. It's going to cause the food to ferment and to sit there. It's not good. The drinks that digest the food very nicely when you eat is wine. And red wine, not white wine. And semi-dry. Those you should be drinking when you eat. When I eat my dinner, I have a glass of wine, Merlot or Malbec, red wine. And red wine is very good for the heart. So if you really want to have a drink, thank you, UK. Thank you. Love you too. Hi, Ruby. I miss you too. I miss you. And I've been going through my health issues. But tomorrow we begin the schedule normal. And I will be working from morning, noon, and night to catch up with those clients that I had to postpone the appointment because of my health situation. So I miss you too, Ruby. Okay, someone asked a question about the solar plexus. The other solar plexus videos are deleted. No, they've been moved to Patreon. You have to be a member of Patreon. That's $25 a month for you to have that information. The only reason why I think that I owe you guys, because I became, I guess, popular because of you. If it wasn't because of you, I would not be here. So I'm giving back. So I'm putting the Patreon videos on YouTube first, because you, my subscribership, all 49K of you, that's my priority. My priority is not Patreon, it's you, it's YouTube. I only have 40 people on Patreon. I got 50,000 of you on YouTube. So you are the priority. And for those of you who want specialized content, then you go to Patreon and you subscribe $25 a month, and you get 4 videos a month of specialized content. That turns out to be cheaper than the donations you give me every other day or every other week. It adds up. The $25 a month keeps that stable. So it's not about being greedy or thirsty. That actually helps you minimizing your donations. And then I give you more content. That's the logic behind it. Now you understand what kind of contents I have on Patreon, and then I give you the choice to decide whether you want to go to Patreon and be a member, because you could do both. You have YouTube and you have a Patreon. So you're getting the introductory content on YouTube, and then I'm going to specialized content of exactly what I'm talking about on YouTube on Patreon for those people to pay for the subscribership. And it's a smart idea. And I was having problems with YouTube, legally. I was having that legal battle. They weren't paying me for 3 years. And I had to get a lawsuit, and I was dealing with all, and it was, I'm telling you, I got hit on every area. Oops. Thank God. My cheese and crackers, you know? So, yeah. So, oh, you found that out the hard way, huh? That's T. What was name left? Going back to the solar plexus. Tissue. Oh, there you go. Oops. Okay. My computers are not working, laptop, tablet, all that again. I think they sent me a virus to destroy my systems. And that's exactly what happened. I have a very powerful enemy out there that does not want to see me succeed. And I get all kinds of threatening letters, and they're like, oh, fuck you. They think I'm some punk. They have no idea. But, the battle with YouTube was horrible. But I won. I won the case against Google. Who wins against Google? It's a powerful company. But I had the confidence, and I won and got well compensated for it. Now they have to treat me with kid gloves. Because I react, and I will come in full throttle. That's my Aries. Anyway, let's do the information. I have everything I need and more. Okay. Now, life's crises of all types are governed by time and balance. Now, you have to understand that the reason we have crisis in our lives is to bring a situation to balance and or induce growth of an individual. That's the reason why we have crisis. What does the word crisis mean? And we talked about this before. The word crisis is Greek. It means decision. So if you have a crisis in your hand, then that means that you have a decision to make. And it could cost you your life. It's life and death decision. And that is what the word crisis means in Greek. West of the Macedonian side. Because you have Greek and then you have the Macedonian. Right? Now, let's talk about the solar plexus and interpersonal relationships. First of all, although the heart chakra deals with loving, it is at the level of the solar plexus that we become strong enough to have a relationship with and handle the complexities and needs and demands of another ego. When you're in a relationship, you are relating to another ego. But it is about Libra and balance. It is. That's why Libra is cardinal. Because even though it is a balance, because the solar plexus, remember, it's 7 chakras, right? The solar plexus is here, and then you have the others down here, and the others up here. That's a balance. That's the middle of the torso. From here down, you got the legs, and from here up, you got the trunk. So that's 2 halves. And the solar plexus is right in the middle. So it is Libra. It is a balance. This is Libra in 2 sides equal. Not one is not longer than the other. That's balance. So yes, you're right. It is about balance. And this is a cardinal function of Libra. If Libra does not live her or his life in a balanced way, or seeks balance, or doesn't help others reach balance, then it is not living up to its cardinality. That's why Libra was chosen as a cardinal sign. It has to do and be active and change, make things happen, make things change. My rising sign is Libra. So I'm called to action all the time, and I love it. I'm terrible and depressed if I'm not doing something. I gotta be doing something for me to be happy and make things happen and be effectual in getting things done and happen. That's the essence of cardinality. Right. Now, when you have a relationship with another ego, you don't know that motherfucker or that bitch. You don't know them. You don't know them. That's going to add stress to you in getting to know someone. On the Bible, vice versa. And of course, that's going to be the exciting thing that you like about your new partner. And then you're going to discover things you don't like, and vice versa. It's a process. So just like human relationships is a process, the process of discrimination, assimilation, and absorption is also a process. And that occurs at the solar plexus when we digest our food, drinks, but it also happens interpersonally in the context of human relationships when we interrelate with one another. It's the same process. It's a gestation process. Now relationships, whether they're short-term or long-term, require a confident, secure, strong, and stable partner. Now, what constitutes that? What constitutes a strong, stable partner? Well, self-realization gives pride to one's individuality. So if you know yourself, and you know yourself as an individual, and you have actualized yourself, you have become that which you knew you were within, and now you've manifested it, then if you're that person, then you will be attracting people just like you. Confident, strong, secure. The law of attraction, like attracts like. So if you want someone like that, you must be that way as well. Or no dice. No dice. Okay? To bond emotionally with another human being requires that the solar plexus and the heart chakra be one and be open to receive the energy of another ego. Here lies the problem. I gotta sit back. Here lies the problem. Many of us enter relationships half-assed. We go in with our expectations of ourselves and the other person. We don't know the other person, we're just meeting and we're developing a relationship. Behind that, there's anxiety too, because you don't know if it's gonna work out. Am I break down? Oh, I love cancer. I speak very well of cancer. I love cancer. That's right. We don't love the way we're supposed to. But that's not your fault. That's the fault of the church and our government, who make these definitions about what love is and what it isn't. And it's completely erroneous. Now, and we don't know if this is done on purpose or if it's out of ignorance. Now, with a lot of self-help books and pop psychology, and there's a lot of websites out there that talk about relationships, and we have relationship sites where people can meet, blackpeoplemeet.com, or what is the Harmony, eharmony.com, LatinosinAction.com. There's so many relationship websites, all that kind of stuff. But, and I looked at them, because my business is relationship. I'm an astrologer, and my specialty as an astrologer is relationships. Intimate ones, business and platonic ones. And I don't know all the answers, and I'm not perfect. You all know I just had a divorce and a separation, you know. That doesn't disqualify me of being a specialist. But I know what caused it. And because I'm a fighter, I'm going to fight to the end. That was my choice. But you have to understand that relationships are very, very complicated. But they can be even worse when you don't know who you are. If you don't know who you are, how are you going to get to know somebody else? And this is what fucks up the relationship from the very beginning. Yes, that's correct, Mrs. Nia. I know my worth. And because I know my worth, I attract people that own businesses, that own buildings, that are rich. Because if I'm not rich with money, I'm rich in confidence and in a very healthy sense of self-worth. I know I'm worth millions. And I believe that. And I carry myself like one. And I attract that to me. Because I believe it. Shit, if you're going to be a liar, lie about the good things. Lie about the things that matter, not about trivial shit. That's called creative lying. And that falls under Neptune. And then, of course, the lying that's really negative and bad falls under Mercury. The pathological liar, that's Mercury. But the creative liar is Neptune. Because the lie is only for a moment. And you can lie about something. And if you lie about it for a long time, guess what? It's going to come out to be true. Because you've given it energy. Everything has energy. And eventually, things will either dissipate or manifest. So be careful of the lies that you tell. Because if you tell them often enough, long enough, they will manifest and become truths. So, the heart chakra, like I said, and the solar plexus have to come together. When you have the butterflies in your stomach, or and you're next to the guy, or a girl, oh, Miss Keisha Farmer, she lost her laptop in the Amtrak. I told her to do a prayer of a particular type. She did it, they found the laptop. I'm telling you it works. Don't dismiss the power of prayer and the belief that boils from within, that fuels that verse when you read it out. It's the solar plexus. Oh, God, so many functions you have no idea. And it controls and regulates the other chakras. But the one that really, now the one that controls the solar plexus, guess which one that is? The sacral, the root chakra. The root chakra controls the solar plexus and all the others. We'll be talking about the root chakra at some time. So when the heart chakra and the solar plexus get together, that's when you have butterflies in your stomach. You have nerve, you can talk, you can eat, you can sleep, you can think. She's on your mind or he's on your mind. It's the beginning of the honeymoon phase. It's the prelude to the honeymoon phase. Because you're not together yet. Once you decide you're going to be together, then that is the honeymoon phase. Now things are good. Milk and honey with a taste of nuts and honey. It becomes, yes, what? And the honeymoon phase can last a couple of months. But it's not going to last long. And there's a reason why we have to go through the honeymoon phase. You get to know each other. That's the time that you get to know each other. The good and the bad and a little bit of the ugly. If you don't take the time in the honeymoon phase to figure out who you're with, it ain't just about fucking all day, all night long. Of course, you want to do that in the honeymoon phase. That's all you want to do. But it's not supposed to be just about fucking and sexy and all that stuff. No, it's not supposed to be just that. You gotta do inventory about each other and find out who you are. Because the honeymoon phase will fade. And when it does, you want to make sure that when it does fade, you got something real with you and not an illusion. Because that also can distort the person that you're with. Don't make illusions in your head. The honeymoon phase is so powerful because it involves the sacral chakra, the brow chakra, and the solar plexus. The process of falling in love pulls three major chakras, and we're going to talk about it in detail. The solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the brow, the third eye chakra, they become aligned when you fall in love. Now, there's a difference between lust and love, and that we are going to talk about in detail as well. Because here is where people get confused and mistake love for lust, or mistake lust for love. And it's not love, it's lust. And lust has a function too. The thing is that if you don't know these things, then we're going to make mistakes like a motherfucker. Someone just said in the chat, and that's a good point, that it's not always the stomach. Sometimes it's the eyes. Yes, if you feel that you're not right, then there's something wrong with the root chakra. The root chakra, if there's trauma at the root chakra level, it's going to fuck up all of the other chakras, including the solar plexus. If that happens, then professional therapy is required, because in professional therapy, psychotherapy, they are trained to identify them, and they are given the tools to fix it. As astrologers, we're not giving that unless we have a professional academic training in the psychotherapeutic practices. But we have our own methods, we have our own styles, and we have our own school of thought about it. And it parallels that of the scientific theory concerning our conventional medicine and applied medicine. Astrology is no different. We have the same applicability, but we use different tools. And they parallel each other. Okay. If you want to live well, now what does that mean? That has a different meaning for different people. If you want to live well, making good money, I live well. I've always lived well. I live well, and I make sure of it, because I have a very powerful, developed solar plexus. Of all my chakras, the solar plexus is the most developed. Confidence and pride in who I am, and loving and believing in who I am and what I can do is probably the best gift given to me by the Creator. Where I don't have to worry about people having opinions about me or saying, I don't care about none of that stuff. And I'm blessed for that. But some people cannot live without the opinions of others. So if you're going to live well and be prosperous, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your capability. Overeaters have a solar plexus issue, or they may have a root chakra issue or a heart chakra issue. And they want to hide from the feelings. So they put food. Overeaters are trying to hide their feelings. They don't like their feelings. They're either ashamed or embarrassed of how they feel inside because of some intense trauma that has them hating themselves. And they don't want those reminders that our inner voices tell us. So they try to shield it by overeating, to block it. And it's going to take a specific tool in therapy to fix that. Fix the psyche of the person who's under that affliction. My tooth is very is it's okay. I've been taking pills, and I watch. I don't. I'm trying to eat as much as possible. But so far, so because sometimes it hurts and it pops up, almost like that. It reminded me, hey, we're still here. We're still here. We didn't go away. So I'm living very on edge with this. There's a lot going on here, and they feel that they're always finding something new, and would stop the surgery. I think something else they discovered. They're not telling me that postponed the surgery. So those things have me a little bit on the edge, but not on the edge scared, on the edge ready to act. Again, my cardinality, to be in control of the situation. Depression is caused by a blocked solar plexus. The third chakra, depending on how you're counting, will be the heart chakra. The heart chakra fosters one type of depression, while the solar plexus fosters another type of depression. There are different types and degrees of depression now. So don't get confused. Yes, they're third and fourth, but there are different states of depression, and there are different chakras that govern or react to different states of depression. Well, someone just said protect your energy. Protect your energy. Well, the solar plexus is responsible for protecting your energy. We went over 6 minutes. We're gonna have to do a part 4 of the solar plexus. It's a lot to. I tell you, it's a lot to cover. It's a lot to cover, and I didn't talk too much about myself this time. It's a lot to cover. It's a lot to cover. So we're gonna be doing another video. Give me about an hour break, and I will be back to do part 4. Thank you guys, and please donate handsomely.